Listen up, mate. There's absolute chaos brewing in paradise right now. From players losing their place to protests erupting at Dundee Park and Brendan Rodgers facing talk about the sack. It's been one wild week for Celtic. I've got all the latest for you, and trust me, the last story is the big one. The one everyone's talking about in Glasgow right now. So stick around to the very end. We have 6 news a day to keep you updated with the mighty Celtic. Hit that subscribe button and be part of it. So here we go again. Another storm brewing over at Parkhead, and this one's got the smell of boardroom nonsense all over it. You've probably heard by now what journalist Stephen McGowan's been saying, calling out Michael Nicholson, or as he put it, the invisible man of Parkhead. And honestly, he's not wrong, is he? The guy's quieter than a Sunday morning in Sauchie Hall Street after a Rangers defeat. There's 77 million quid sitting in the bank, and yet we're still waiting on a proper striker, like it's some mythical creature out of fairy tale. McGowan's gone straight for the jugular here, and I can't blame him. He's pointing the finger right at the top, saying the whole recruitment setup's been dysfunctional. And look, you didn't need to be Pep Guardiola to see that. We've got 2 left wingers who can't beat a traffic cone, a midfield that sometimes looks like it's running through treacle, and still no sign of that number 9 we've been crying out for since the window opened. It's like they've been playing fantasy football with real money, except they've benched all the players that could actually score. Now, here's the bit that really gets me. He's spot on when he says the issue's not just about what's happening on the pitch. It's the decisions made above the dugout. Nicholson and his pals in the boardroom have been sitting there all smug, like it's fine to coast along while the rest of the league starts catching up. Meanwhile, Brendan's standing there on the touchline trying to make miracles happen with what he's been given. I mean, it's one thing to be patient, but there's patience and then there's taking the mick. What really hits home is that line about accountability. We're talking about a club built on pride, passion, and proper graft. But right now it feels like the folk upstairs have gone soft. McGowan's words sting because they're true. The leadership's been absent when the support needed it most. There's no strong voice coming out of Parkhead, no fire, no clarity, just silence. And for a club as big as ours, silence speaks volumes. The daftest part? We're not even broke. There's 77 million quid just sitting there collecting dust, and instead of investing in real quality, we're picking up project players like it's some charity drive. How can you tell a fan that we're serious about Europe when we can't even get a striker through the door? It's baffling, man. McGowan's just said what plenty of Celtic folk have been whispering for months. We've stood still, and when you stand still in football, you get caught. Hearts are pushing forward. Dundee just humiliated us, and yet the message from above seems to be, I will be fine. Well, we won't be fine if the folk upstairs keep pretending everything's rosy. Now, I've got to ask you something, because I know you're thinking it too. If Michael Nicholson really is the invisible man of Parkhead, do you reckon it's time he finally showed face? Or should he take his invisibility cloak and vanish for good before he drags us any further down? Hit that subscribe button. Leeds, let's jay it. Lildy till we hit 1,500 mad Celtic dafts. So here we are again, talking about another big blow for the boys. Dyson Maeda, out injured. The man's a machine, isn't he? Always chasing lost causes, pressing defenders like a madman, and somehow still finding the legs to score. When he's no there, you can feel it. It's like taking the wind out of a Glasgow storm. It just doesn't hit the same. Brendan came out before the Dundee game and confirmed it, saying Dyson felt his hamstring after the Motherwell match. Went away with Japan hoping it'd clear up, but no luck. And let's be honest, without him, the attack just looked flat. You could see it a mile off. The tempo was gone, the pressing faded, and poor Yang, bless him, just never got going. He looked like he'd turned up to a Sealith but forgot the steps. Now, this is where Rodgers needs to earn his coin. If Maeda's missing for a bit, we can't just stand around looking lost. There's a solution sitting right there in front of him, and it's time to get creative. Forget Yang, forget shoehorning. someone out of position. I'm telling you, there's a player in this squad just bursting to show what he can do in a new role. Maybe pushing Kyogo a bit wider, letting him link up with another forward through the middle, or even giving one of the young lads a proper shot instead of just chucking them on for 10 minutes at the end. We've seen it before, haven't we? Brendan's at his best when he's tinkering. Remember when he turned Calmac into a midfield general? Or when Forrest looked finished and suddenly he was terrorizing fullbacks again? The man can reinvent players when his back's against the wall, and right now he needs to do exactly that. It's no all doom and gloom though. There could be the wee spark we need to shake things up. Deason's energy is impossible to replace, but it can also force the team to find new patterns, new movement, and maybe even bring out the best in someone who's been hiding in the shadows. That's how squads evolve, through a bit of adversity. Still, let's not sugarcoat it. Losing Maeda's like losing half your engine. The lad's the heartbeat of our press, and without him, we look easier to play against. If Brendan gets this wrong, we'll be sitting here next week moaning about another lifeless performance. But if he gets it right, well, it could be the moment this team finds its spark again. So here's the real question for you. With Maeda sidelined and Yang struggling to make an impact, who do you think Brendan should trust to step up? Should he take a gamble and unleash someone in a new role, or go safe and stick with what clearly isn't working? Hit that subscribe button. Lads, let's argue it loudly till we hit 1,500 mad Celtic daffs. So let's talk about Calmac, our captain, our heartbeat, our leader. The man's pure Celtic through and through. And after that, shambles at Dundee Park. He's come out swinging. You can see it in his eyes. The fire's back. He's nay one for excuses, nay one for hiding. Instead, he's fronted up, faced the music, and basically said to the critics, go on then, write us off, but you'll regret it. That's classic Calmac, isn't it? Cool head, but full of steel underneath. He's challenged every single one of the lads to show why they wear that shirt, why they're champions. He knows exactly what it means to play for this club. The pressure, the expectation, the noise, and he's bang on. When he says it's all part of being at Celtic, everyone loves ye when you're lifting trophies, but the second things wobble, the knives come out sharper than the wind up on Sucky Hall Street. But that's fine, because that's when this team's true character gets tested. Calmac said it plain as day. It was a poor result, an embarrassing one for a club like Celtic, but it's no time for panic. There's still 30 games to go, and if there's one thing this team's done over the years, it's bounced back stronger. He's not sugarcoating anything, though. He's fuming the same way every fan was after that Dundee Park disaster. But instead of moaning, he's using it as fuel. That's what proper leaders do. He's told the lads straight, enough's enough. Too easy to play against, too slow, too sloppy. That's not the Celtic way. It's time to roll up the sleeves, dig in, and show everyone what this club's made of. He knows the weight of that badge. He's carried it for years, and he's reminding everyone else in the dressing room exactly what it stands for. It's nay just about winning, it's about fighting for every blade of grass, every tackle, every ball, and he's spot on. There's no shortcuts out of this. The only way back is hard work and unity. The good news is we've seen this story before. Remember last time folks said we were finished? How'd that turn out? Trebles and tears, but not ours, and with Calmac leading the charge, I wouldn't bet against history repeating itself. Still, the clock's ticking. There's Europa League pressure, there's hearts breathing down our necks, and if the boys didn't react now, it could turn ugly. But if they do, and I think they will, this could be the spark that turns the whole season around. So here's one for you. If Celtic pull this together and go on a run, will the same critics who've been tearing into Calmac and Brendan be big enough to hold their hands up? Or will they vanish faster than a Rangers title challenge in spring? Hit that subscribe button. Lads, let's GI it Loldy till we hit 1,500 mad Celtic daffs.